हेलो बच्चों, क्या हाल चाल? सब बढ़िया। एक्चुअली आज हम लोग लेसन 2 11 क्लास का जो हमारा लेसन 2 है, 11 क्लास का लेसन 2 हम लोग अब रीडिंग प्रैक्टिस के लिए जा रहे हैं। जो फर्स्ट लेक्चर था हमारा लेसन 1, उसका हम लोगों ने कंप्लीट कर लिए थे। अब ये हमारा लेसन 2 स्टार्ट होने जा रही है, ठीक है। और लेसन 2 आप सभी लोगों, सभी बच्चे के लिए बहुत ही ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है। आप सही से इसमें जुड़े और सही से इसको रीडिंग करें और सही से इसको प्रैक्टिस करें। तो चलिए हम लोग देखते हैं इसको 1 to 1 हम लोग देखने जाएंगे और देखेंगे जो नालंदा एनिशिएंट सेट ऑफ लर्निंग जो डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद के द्वारा जो लिखा गया है, इस चैप्टर में हमें क्या क्या बताना चाहता है और हमें क्या क्या समझाना चाहता है। तो सबसे पहले हम लोग सिर्फ रीड ही करेंगे। क्या करेंगे? हम लोग रीड करेंगे, ठीक है। चलिए थोड़ा सा फटाफट आप लोग जुड़ जाए सभी बच्चे। फटाफट आप लोग जुड़ जाए सभी बच्चे। अगर आवाज़ क्लियर हो तो बता दे, थोड़ा सा आवाज़ मेरा कैसा जा रहा है। सॉरी, मैं हेडफोन लगाने के लिए भी भूल गया हूँ, एक सेकेंड। चलिए बताइए, फटाफट बताइए आप, क्या मेरा आवाज़ क्लियर है सभी बच्चे को? चलिए तो मेरे बच्चे, आज हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं क्या हमारा लेसन 2 11 क्लास का नालंदा एनिसेंट सेट ऑफ लर्निंग डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद। चलिए तो फर्स्ट चैप्टर हम लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं और इसको समझेंगे, ठीक है। राजेंद्र प्रसाद 1804-1962, born in Jiredi, Bihar, was the first president of the Republic of India. As president, he had moderating influence on the political thinking of the period. He also shared Gandhiji's great vision, the making of new man in society, a living embodiment of plain living and high thinking. Dr. Prasad was a statesman, scholar, historian, educationist, lofty, idealist, social reformer, and above all, great constructive thinker. The speech Nalanda Ancient Set of Learning, taken from Speeches of President Rajendra Prasad, Volume 1, was delivered by Dr. Rajendra Prasad at the foundation stone laying ceremony of Magad Research Institute, Nalanda, 1 November 20, 1951. In this speech, Dr. Prasad enunciates the past glory of the Nalanda University and pleads for its revival. His emphasis on the perfectly harmonious relationships between the Guru and the Sishya for imparting and receiving of knowledge is of particular interest today. आगे देखते हैं हम लोग। अब हम लोग चैप्टर को देखेंगे, सही से समझेंगे, ठीक है। फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ है हमारा यहाँ। Nalanda Ancient Set of Learning. We have gathered here in Nalanda, the renowned ancient university town, with the noble aim of reviving the ancient glory of Nalanda in the world of knowledge. It is with this object in view that the government of this state has decided to establish the Magad Research Institute for the study of Pali and Prakrit and research in Buddhist literature and philosophy. जो बच्चे को क्वालिटी कम लग रहा है, क्वालिटी को बढ़ा ले, आप अपनी क्वालिटी को बढ़ा ले वीडियो का क्वालिटी, और आप इसको बेटर वे में अंडरस्टैंड कर पाएंगे और बहुत ज़्यादा क्लियर आएगा। ठीक है, अपनी क्वालिटी को आप बढ़ा ले। ठीक है, चलिए नंबर 2, Nalanda is the symbol of the most glorious period of our history. For not only did the quest for knowledge blossom here into its finest shape, but also because it bound together at the time the various parts of Asia. With links of knowledge, there are no national and racial distinctions in the realm of knowledge, and this was true of Nalanda. The message of Nalanda was heard across the mountains and oceans of the ancient land, and for nearly 6 centuries it continued to be the center of Asian consciousness. The history of Nalanda dates back to the age of Lord Buddha and Lord Mahavira. According to Jain record, Lord Mahavira met Acharya Mankhela and Nalanda. Lord Mahavira is said to have lived here for 14 years. According to the Sutra Kartinga Lipa, rich citizens of Nalanda welcomed Lord Buddha with his entire wealth and possessions and become his disciples. According to Lama Taranath, the learned historian of Tibet, Nalanda was the birthplace of Sariputra, whose samadhi survived till the reigns of Emperor Ashoka, who enlarged it by installing a temple around it. नंबर 3, पैराग्राफ नंबर 3। अब हम लोग थर्ड नंबर पैराग्राफ को पढ़ेंगे। ठीक है, अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे और सही से अंडरस्टैंड करने का कोशिश कीजिए आप लोग। चलिए, though traditions associates Nalanda with Lord Buddha and Emperor Ashoka, at it emerged as a flourishing university sometime in the Gupta age. Taranath maintains that both Bhikshu Nagarjuna and Aryadeva were associated with Nalanda University, and says further that Acharya Dingeng visited Nalanda and had a scholarly discussions in the 4th century. A.D. Fayan, a Chinese pilgrim, visited Nalanda and saw the stupa constructed at the spot where Sariputra took birth and died. But it was not until much later that Nalanda acquired its outstanding position in the 7th century, and even during the reigns of Emperor Harshavardhan. Yuan Tisang came to India. Nalanda was the height of glory. Nalanda was the height of glory. क्या बोल रहा है? Nalanda, height of the glory. Referring a Jataka story, Win Tisang writes that it derived its name from Na Alam Da, the peace of mind, which Lord Buddha failed to achieve in his previous birth. Number 4. Nalanda University was born with the help of liberal public charity and donation. It is believed to have been founded originally with an endowment created by 500 traders who purchased land with their money and offered it to Lord Buddha as a gift. By the time of Wen Sang's visit, Nalanda had become a full-fledged university and had at the time 6 large viharas. The 18th century's inscriptions of Yasovarmans contains a telling descriptions of Nalanda. The high species of the viharas in a row seems to be sky high, and around them were tanks of clear water in which floated red and yellow lotuses, interspersed by the cool shade of the mango groves. ये है नालंदा यूनिवर्सिटी का फिगर है, आप देख सकते हो, ठीक है। ये नालंदा यूनिवर्सिटी का फिगर दिया गया है, ठीक है। Architecture and the sculptures of the halls containing rich ornamentation and beautiful idols filled one with wonder. Although there are many Sangarams in India, but the one at Nalanda is unequaled at the time of the Chinese traveler. Its Singh's visit there were 300 big rooms and 8 halls. The remains discovered by archaeological excavations fully bear out the truth of these descriptions. The teachers and the students at Nalanda were made completely free of economic warriors. Beside the gift of Nalanda and buildings, the revenue of 100 villages had been set apart in the form of trust to meet recurring expenditure. This property of the trust had increased 200 villages by the time of its Singh's visit. The 3 states of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Bengal had taken considerable part in the building and financial maintenance of Nalanda University. Number 5. Copper plates and statues of the age of Maharaja Dharmpal Dev and Devpal Deva of Bengal have been found at Nalanda in the course of archaeological excavation. One of these copper plates sheds light on the international relations maintained by Nalanda. We learn from it that Sri Balputra Deva, the Silandra Europer of Emperor of Saurnadeepa, now a part of Indonesia, had sent his envoy to develop Devpal Deva, the ruler of Magad, with a request that he should make a gift of 5 villagers to Nalanda on behalf of the former. According to his copper plate inscriptions, Balputra, the emperor of Java, being deeply impressed by the achievement of Nalanda, had a large vihara constructed here to give visible expressions of his devotions to Lord Buddha. This is but an example that has survived by sheer chance and which gives us an indelible impression of the glory which Nalanda enjoyed the world over. Indeed, the Nalanda Mahaviharya Arya Bhikshus Sangh was held in great esteem all over Asia. Many Kali seals of this Sangh have been found at Nalanda. Number 6. At the time of Hyun Tsang's visit, Nalanda had 10,000 students and 1,500 teachers. 1,500 teachers. From this, it is obvious that teacher could pay individuals' attention to the education and training of their students. In fact, Nalanda was the only a center of higher education similar to the Institute of Postgraduate Research, which we are now proposing to establish here. Scholars from such distant countries, China, Korea, Tibet, Turkestan, and Mongolia came to Nalanda to study and collect Buddhist literature. It had the biggest library in Asia. It was from Nalanda that copies of many manuscripts through traveling pilgrims reached China and were translated in Chinese. In a way, Nalanda had bloomed forth as a center of higher learning, and it was considered a mark of honor to be associated with Nalanda. The citizens ensured the preservation of many a rare volume by getting copies and keeping them here for a safe custody. When in the 20th century its library was destroyed, many of the manuscripts had already found their way to Nepal and Tibet, and many of these manuscripts are still there. ये नालंदा है, ठीक है, उसका यूनिवर्सिटी का दिया है फोटो. Number 7 आ जाइए. Without any reference to an particular religion, 100 lectures were delivered every day at Nalanda, both Brahmanicals and Buddhist literature. देखो ब्रह्मा वाला होता है और क्या होता है Brahmanicals and Buddhist literature. Philosophy, sciences and art form part of the syllabus of Nalanda University. A majority of the monks used to study the works of Mahayana and the other 18 Nikayas of the Buddhist faith, but there also was provision for the study and teaching of the Veds and allied literature. The liberalism practiced by the educational authorities of Nalanda was unique, and seeds of Nalanda's rise and progress lay in the academic attitude which freely exposed itself to the religions and philosophy of all mankind without any prejudice whatsoever. The syllabus of Nalanda University was drawn up the great wisdom, and by following it, students were increasingly successful in their daily life. It had made a study of 5 subjects compulsory: grammar, by which one could get an adequate mastery of the language; logic, which taught the student to judge every issue rationally; medical science, a study of which enabled the student to keep himself as also others in a perfect health; and lastly, handicrafts, knowledge of one craft or another was compulsory to make the students financially independent. Besides these 4 subjects, religion and philosophy were studies depending on one's special interest. The high ideal which Nalanda had set in the matter of the courses of study deserve our attentions and considerations ever. Even now, it was this well coordinated course of studies which made the knowledge of its students both deeply penetrating and utilitarian in its practical applications. Yuan Tsang studies law, yoga, phonetics and Chinese grammar at the feet of Acharya Sila Bhadra. The chancellor of the university, and after it, for a period of 5 years, read through many Buddhist works and was especially interested in the works and Mahayana. Similarly, it seeing the Chinese traveler studies books one Theravada, Theravada, Theravada at Nalanda. नंबर 9 में आ जाइए. The scholar of Nalanda carried the torch of knowledge to foreign countries. For instance, Stong Champo, the emperor of Tibet, with a view of introducing and popularizing Sanskrit script and the knowledge of India in his country, said the scholar called Thonim Sambhot to Nalanda, where he studies Buddhist and Brahmanical literature under Acharya Dev Veda Singh. After this, in the 8th century AD, Acharya Santi Raksit, the chancellor of Nalanda University, went to Tibet in response to an invitation from the emperor Acharya Kamal Sila. The chief authority on Tantra Vidya also visited Tibet. Nalanda scholar learned the Tibetan language and translated Buddhist and Sanskrit works into it. Thus, they presented an internally new literature to Tibet and gradually convert its inhabitants to Buddhist. Acharya Santi Raksit of Nalanda established for the first time in 1749 AD a Buddhist Bihar in Tibet. It is necessary that the books available in the Tripitakar literature of the Tibet be translated once again into Sanskrit. They would not only shed new light on Indian history and culture, but would also help us to form a complete picture of the contributions made by Nalanda University in the pursuit of knowledge. Further, it is also believed that Korean scholars came to study the Vinaya, Abhidharma at Nalanda. It is quite possible that Korean translation of original Sanskrit works may still be extant in Korea. Number 10. Besides being famous for its studies in literature and religions, Nalanda was also a center of fine arts and influenced the art of Nepal, Tibet, Indonesia, and Central Asia. The bronze statues of Nalanda are impressive and beautiful, and scholars believe that statues of Buddha found at Kukikhar bear traces of the Nalanda school. It is true that the art achievement of Nalanda was born of an all-inclusive pursuit of knowledge, in which religion and philosophy, language, and handicrafts had equal importance. Number 11. We should aim at reviving the educational system of Bygone era and re-establish Nalanda as a center of art, literature, philosophy, religion, and science. Cultural renaissances can come about in the life of nations only when a large number of determined scholars devote a lifetime to research after truth. Though the Magad Research Institute is still very young but molded to the need of the age, it can be accepted to develop into the center we wish it to be. तो हमारा क्या होता है, ये हमारा कंप्लीट हो जाता है चैप्टर पैराग्राफ नंबर 11. तो ये द एंड हो जाता है हमारा रीडिंग, सॉरी क्या हो जाता है, द एंड. इसका एमसीक्यू के लिए आप कमेंट करें, एमसीक्यू आपको मिलेगा, ठीक है, एमसीक्यू इसका मिलेगा आपको, ठीक है. इस वीडियो के लिए आपको देखने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. और अगर क्वालिटी किसी का कम आ रहा है तो आप इसका क्वालिटी को बढ़ा लें और इसको सही से आप अंडरस्टैंड करें। तब तक के लिए थैंक यू, शुक्रिया, आपका दिन शुभ हो। अगर वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो तो वीडियो को लाइक कमेंट कर लें और हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब भी कर लें, ठीक है। हमको लगता है 11 के बाद और होना चाहिए ना शायद। 1 सेकेंड 1 सेकेंड, क्या 11 के बाद और होना चाहिए क्या? देख लेते हैं, 1 सेकेंड देखने दीजिए। अच्छा अच्छा, 10 से 11 तक ही किए हैं। ग्यारह तक ही है, ठीक है, 11 तक ही है। चलिए ठीक है, मिलते हैं फिर हम लोग नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, ठीक है। इसको रिवीजन करें आप लोग, प्रैक्टिस, ठीक है।